DreamWorks. Sorry Disney stole your thunder again, but you still released 3 movies last year, none of which were awful. And you still got a lot of TV series that are series that exist in various forms. So obviously your hurried, oversaturated project model must be paying off, right? Right? Oh, that's right. All 3 of your movies underperformed last year. Wait, even How to Train Your Dragon 2? As it was one of the only animated sequels to make less money than the original? Peabody and Sherman alone cost you $57 million? And you had to lay off over 500 people? And Kung Fu Panda got moved to next March, and this is the only movie you have this year? Oh wow, I'm so sorry. Really, I am. A little bit. Mildly. Well, I'm sure if I tried I could work something up, but right now, I'm recovering from your movie. Well, to emphasize, Home is not an awful movie. No, that spot has already been reserved for all of this year, but it is clearly a manufactured, purposefully constructed child product movie with very little adult appeal, and unfortunately, most likely the worst DreamWorks movie since Shrek the Third. So, also probably the 3rd worst DreamWorks animation ever. Well, give or take how much you tolerated, Shrek 4, Flushed Away, Over the Hedge, Sinbad, B-Movie, and people really seem to like these movies for reasons I don't get. Anyway, the movie. This film is an adaptation of the book The True Meaning of Smek Day, originally to be titled Happy Smek Day, but wait, that title has way too much personality. We need to turn it into an extremely generic single word that will virtually have nothing to do with the movie itself, and makes it incredibly confusing for people to web search the movie so they have to add the name of the company, and there we go. Okay, I concede. I can't see a ton of people going to a movie called Happy Smek Day. As for the story, a group of aliens called the Boov, ideally designed to transfer seamlessly to plush form and absolutely in no way resemble minions, decide to take over the Earth because aliens, and relocate all of the humans to Australia really quickly, like in the first 30 seconds of the movie. Our protagonist is a Boov named O, voiced by Sheldon from Big Bang Theory, playing Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. Seriously, he's under the constant delusion that he's admired and beloved instead of annoying and intrusive, and is completely unperceptive to social cues and etiquette, even among his own species. I do love you, Jim Parsons, but at the moment you do only have one character to work with, making you a prime target for DreamWorks casting choices that allowed Chris Rock to say shit like this.
I hate when people go on TV and tell you how hard it is to do animations. Like, oh, Jay, it's such hard work. It's so hard doing animation, getting into character. It's the easiest job in the world.
Anyway, O becomes a fugitive and has to team up with Gratuity Tucci, sure, and the two set off on an adventure together to find the girl's mom and start off butting heads, but soon develop a friendship, and yeah, you know exactly where this is going. No giant surprises here where the plot is concerned, though an alien-human buddy road trip is a decent enough concept for a kid's movie since they can't see the Seth Rogen one yet, and while formulaic and predictable, there's nothing wrong with the narrative itself in terms of what happens, but its execution? Oh boy. Firstly, this film is the most recent victim of DreamWorks' and imitators' tried and true marketing practices of reveal all of your best jokes in the trailer. Minions will probably be the next one, but at least this time there was also a short film that, in all fairness, did warn us about what was to come, and even claiming its best jokes is being pretty generous, as this movie follows the philosophy of comedy for young audiences equals being as obnoxious as possible. Have Steve Martin constantly spazzing out, make the full spectrum of bodily function noises, have all of them speak continuously with internet meme syntax.
Who has me for companion on the show? Boos do not dancing! Can I come into the out now?
Can I has cheeseburger? Ah! Okay, the grammar thing is a tribute to the books that it's based on, but still, imagine DreamWorks' affinity for excessively fast-paced contemporary slang with a narrative excuse for why grammar is purposefully mutated and every scene with the Boov becomes a special kind of endurance test. Case in point, the phrase best blank ever is used 3 times in the first 2 minutes. Also, presumably we're supposed to relate to O because he's an individual, but how exactly? In that he's annoying and incompetent? Frankly, I would shun him too. And while the story is fine, what on earth happened to the pacing? You know, that kind of pacing that screamed, we adapted this from a book? Though I can't prove that, I actually don't know too much about the book. Well, other than the hiring of Jennifer Lopez was probably mandatory just for the inside joke, I mean that in somehow there was both elements that should have been expanded on and a lot of wasted space. Things that are established that don't follow up, there's a series of mini conflicts that arise and are resolved without a whole whole lot of effort. Actions that take separate scenes probably could have been done in one. Like, there's a scene where the two have to use a Boov computer, but apparently in Boov tech, you need to be telepathically linked to another dimensional space and use the computer there. Why? We wasted a minute hooking up to this mind thing. Why couldn't this have just been the computer room? Having too many separate scenes is one thing, but it also feels like at some point in the 11th hour, some editor went through the first half of the movie and just started cutting out like 5 frames to every shot. Because for the love of Katzenberg, we need to make this shorter. Children are not capable of holding their attention for longer than 90 minutes. Or in this case, 95. And/or animation is really expensive. So yeah, some of those early scenes feel like they're literally being played on fast forward. And that goes to you two as well. Yeah, they do form a genuine friendship eventually, but not at the exact moment the movie wants you to believe they do. Yeah, you two just got finished trying to sabotage each other. You're not besties yet. So, it's irritating, but to be fair, most of my complaints are solely rooted in the first 2/3, which is still not great, but there is some good stuff in here. I like how the Boov change colors depending on their emotion. As a Dreamworks regular, it's all competently animated, though the Boov color palette is a little too pastel play school, and there's something about the human design that feels a little bit squashed, but overall it's fine. I have to admire some of the Boov technology designs, if only for the way it manages to convey mass destruction in an extremely child-friendly way, in this case through f***ing bubbles! And if you take anything away from this film, it should be that this character is great. I love this character. She's spunky, but not invulnerable. She has a good established history and determined goal, and she has an amusing running gag where she claims the reason she can do so many things is because she got an A in geometry. And she's very well voiced. Yeah, if you've been wondering why Rihanna has been absent from the pop charts lately, well, ta-da! Well, no, voicing the character didn't take up that much time. No, she was curating a concept album for the movie, with 3 new songs of her own. Yes, it wouldn't be a contemporary set DreamWorks film without multiple pop songs inserted in various uncomfortable places. Well, at least they're all brand new songs that are just kinda meh. But I do really like Toward the Sun. It has a sort of radioactive apocalyptic tone to it. However, more than usual, these songs do feel like they're forced into the movie, in most cases with the apparent intent to keep a scene from being too suspenseful and immersive, such as, for example, the destruction of Paris. Okay, did someone break into the editing booth again? Because you seem to be having trouble balancing the song and the sound effects of the obliteration of a city. Oh, that would scare the kids too much? Oh, okay, the song's just fine, I guess. And that's not all. You know that scene in the trailer where O starts dancing and the song they use is a pretty decent dance song? Well, in the movie, the song used for that scene is not a dance song, or at least doesn't have the correct beat at all. In conclusion, if I was ranking this movie alongside my reviews from last year, this would be between Planes 2 and Rio 2, which you will remember was not very high at all. For various reasons, this film just fails to connect and is a bit too close to the jingling keys level of children's entertainment, but at least the film does have some redeeming factors. Like the last third, save for the predictable twist and the easily acquired MacGuffin savior, is the most enjoyable, meaningless, gimmicky part of the movie. In fact, it's one of the only recent animated films where the last act actually feels like it was part of the original script and not rushed or blatantly changed. And of course, Tip, who is a great character as well as a refreshingly non-Caucasian protagonist, which is giving me mixed feelings about how not terrible this movie's doing, currently. I mean, I'm glad for you, but not at the possibility for a sequel. Well, you're probably safe for the moment, Katzenberg, so do you have a plan on how to improve your products in the future? That phrase sound contradictory to anyone else? Well, let's all at least remember the most important thing here, and that's that Strange Magic is still worst animated movie of 2015. So Animaniacs, what was your first impression of home? Comment, like, subscribe, etc., and you stay incredibly shiny, Animaniacs!